It's going to sound crazy, but obviously I've never been a me. And in Zoom. Not saying there's people here, but just. All right, welcome everyone. It's Boston 85. We're really thankful that you guys are able to make it today. Everybody streaming on YouTube, I want to thank you for joining in. We know that it's been, we were supposed to start at 6, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Thank you for being here. We would like to start off today by wishing everybody a happy Black History Month. You can see I'm right here in my Bill Russell. Earlier today, I was doing the Bill Russell Leader of Men, which is a part of the curriculum that we are doing at the African American Academy to talk about Bill Russell's civil rights career. Now, I've been all going around all day. Let me adjust this camera real quick because the show that doesn't look good. All that junk over there. Let's leave it like that. All right. So once again, we're live streaming on YouTube. This is part of our Just How We're Working thing to make sure that we will have the equipment, we will have all the things that we need to make sure that our students are learning what they need to learn for Black History Month. So this is Project 1, which is the MBTA Northeastern University Redlining study. This study was conducted over the last 6 months. So we're here streaming live from the Canal Library here in Northeastern campus. And we're going to be discussing today the Boston Redline Project number 1. Before I get started, my name is Marlon Solomon. I'll be your facilitator today. I am the president of the African American Culture Initiative, a Boston-based nonprofit organization with a mission to build cultural bridges in the African diaspora through education, technology, and travel. Our number 1 project is the African American Academy. This is a after-school program, summer program, as well as the program that we do with Northeastern students. And we work on cultural diversity, equity, inclusion, and restorative project management, like redlining, which is why we are doing the Redlining 5. Oh, and then of course, we're streaming on African American TV. This is our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. These are some of the youth that have been working with us over the past 5 months, 6 months since we started the Boston Redline campaign. Henry Maswani, Bashwe, Anas, Saul. I want to send a shout out to Bashwe. Bashwe is not feeling well. He's supposed to be here with us today, but he's been very ill, so we wish him all the best. And Kamara and Brianna. And of course, Engr, our eyes in the sky, my podcast partner from Charlotte. We will be launching, we're launching today what we call MBTA NU Red Light Study, but we're launching the Live Doing Challenge data points. And the data points is the actual crux of what we do here at the African American Academy with Northeastern. So Northeastern students, you guys are the ones that are the driver behind the project and all the research we get. We need to turn that data into data points. And here is an example of, well, we'll get into it later, but a little bit about the Boston Redline map was issued February 1st, 1938. When it was issued, America was just basically a farm, not industrialized. Currently, there's a 33-year life expectancy difference between Roxbury and Back Bay, and a lot of it has to do with redlining. And Urban Renewal. As you know, events this season, month to mark our Boston Redline Black History Month campaign. So we will definitely want you to check out some of the remaining events. We have a nice one coming up on Saturday, and that is the we have a nice one coming up on Saturday, and that one is a cooking one at a pizza chef. So if you're interested in cooking, we would like to be there. So the two, we have a couple of events next week, and we finish off kind of with the last one on next Saturday at Wally's Cafe. All right, so we have 4 projects that we started to run, and this is a sample. Like, one of the things that I really like about what we do is that it's data driven. So we said, you know what, we have never done a community project month. Let us do a community project month. What does that look like? Came up with our ideas and we moved it on. And as we moved on, you can see we have like the main project, which is the one with Northeastern, which is a lot of data driven stuff with the engineering management students. But then we have storylines that come from within the Redlining project. And these storylines basically give people, that are not in the engineering field, an opportunity to understand what Redlining is all about, right? So the second project is Bill Russell, Leader of Men. That's why I'm wearing my Bill Russell jersey today. I'm representing him and what he stood for today in the South End, fighting for the civil rights, fighting against segregation, fighting the good fight right here in the South End. So to represent him, you know what I'm saying, I'm flying my green colors. So we're very proud of that. The project 3 is an African American, Jewish American Pathways to Understanding. We have a lot of cultural diversity programs in our organization, and they're all pathways to understanding. We have African American Pathways to Understanding. We have African American Pathways to Understanding. We have African American, Afro-Latin Pathways to Understanding. Any kind of Haitian, Chinese, doesn't matter, but we always have this cultural pathways to understanding that requires us to kind of get together, ask those questions, and use that information to see what we have in common. And the last project, if not to me the most favorite, is Redline Music, which will be at Wally's next week. Saturday, 12 to 2, and we will be having the karaoke party. No big deal, right? So, and then hopefully people will sing. If they sing, answer questions, then we'll give them some prizes. All right. So, real quick, the Renewal program was formed in 1966. It is a program that takes young people from redline communities into green communities, where they have greenline communities where you have better schools. So when these students leave their environment and have to stay in these other environments, sometimes they go to school 5 o'clock in the morning, come back 7:30 at night. So when do they have time to actually, be with their community? They don't. After a while, they're detached. They don't know what's going on in their schools. And then one of the things we found was not only do they need like transportation back and forth from school because it helps them, right? In the weekend, maybe they can go home and see their mom. Also, they go to bed hungry. And why do they go to bed hungry? They go to bed hungry because they're from Haitian communities and they go to a place where there's no Haitian food. After a while, they're like, you know what? I don't want a cheap sandwich today. I want something that I'm used to, or something that I want to eat. And that is what that. So we have some support that we're working on and we want to work on during the summer. So hopefully when we get to that. This is more about the Redline study per se. I'm not going to go too much over it, but basically we wanted to deliver events during the summer, which we're doing here today. Right? We wanted to start getting research and get people aware of what it is we do. We're going to do another project month in the summer, and that's going to be involved with the kids. That will be our second super project month. And when we have our youth, we will be working and making content, and we will definitely be carrying on the project. So, okay, so these are some examples of data points. So anybody that knows these data points knows that, okay, so when we do our Slido, when we put in the information, we get data. When we get that data, we use that data to see how best we can make curricula, right? Or things we want to find out. So we can have here on that, it says, given this definition, does Martin Luther King represent the thing of the African American church? 71% of our respondents, of 13 respondents in that episode said no, said yes. And then here, 75% of participants said restorative practices will help African Americans, African motherland unite. So these are some of the things that we do. So we're not just talking because we would like to talk, right? We're talking because we have data points. This is African American engineering, and we are very proud of the work that we do here, and we make sure that we do the right thing. All right, so I'm gonna go quickly into redline facts. So basically, like I said, redlining was this process in which the government wanted to find out where all the ethnic hubs in Boston and across America were. So if you're Italian, if you're Jewish, if you're African American, if you're Jamaican, they want to know Chinese, they want to know where the people that are not white live. Okay, so they did this, and in the end of the day, about 30 years after they did the redline map, they now have what they call urban renewal. Urban renewal project, they call them renewal, but they really weren't renewal. The cities wanted to expand, and they used very unconstitutional means to get people get them out of the housing, destroy and break up their hubs. We are currently, actually, Northeastern is actually on the land that was initially African American indigenous property. Now, one thing I want to say, I know that that sounds bad, but it really is not necessarily their fault, because the land was cleared for a highway, I-95 highway that was supposed to connect and go through here, and that highway was stopped from building. So they cleared this area in order to do that, and Northeastern came in afterwards. So it's not necessarily Northeastern, but it is indigenous African American land, and we want to thank Northeastern for their full produce support. We want to make sure that they understand, everybody understands that, look, what happened in the past happened in the past, but what are we going to do in the future? And Northeastern has shown their commitment to multicultural communities here in Boston. So 50% of this community in this area was destroyed, approximately 2,600 families, 8,600 people in 1950 in the Nubian Square, formerly Dudley Square, Roxbury, during the Washington Park Urban Renewal Program. All right. Then 33 life expectancy difference, that says that between here and more of the richest places. Some of the things people don't know is that by the time people had the right to vote, there was nobody in place to vote. Redline maps represent the beginning of industrialization of America and the road to the current climate crisis. Redlining was the foundational survey work to the creation even of the zip codes. The zip codes were created 25 years later. So this is older than the zip code. It was used to make the zip code. Segregation and redline maps were made illegal with the passing of the Fair Housing Act, which was passed in 1958 after the death of Martin Luther King, after the assassination of Martin Luther King, sorry. So this is one of my favorite graphics. Well, it shows the relationship between, I always try to tell you there's a relationship between culture, land, and law. You need safe spaces, safe encouraging spaces, land, in order to practice and develop your culture. If you do not have the safe space land, you will not develop your culture, or your culture will stop developing. So this is the red line. These are all the red line maps of all the major cities, but there are still more. It's just that these are the ones that are very good. So you can see this destruction of indigenous African American communities happens all over the United States. And don't worry, with time, we're going to find out exactly how many square meters of land was taken away, because we have the math. We can do the calculations. So this part here, the Negro Motorist book, Green Book. This was a book used mostly by the African American economy that was developing, cultural economy that was developing. And what is a cultural economy? Or economy, like the cultural businesses, right? Like jazz clubs and soul food restaurants and tailors and dry cleaners and all the things that we do culturally. And this Green Book shows the safe spaces, the businesses that existed that Black people could go and be safe. Before we move on, I want to say that the Redlining map has 4 grades. A, which is green, is the best. Blue, which is the next level below, still desirable. Yellow, definitely declining, and D, hazardous. Most places of color, Black people have D. Although it's not all Italians, I've seen Irish people also put with the red hazardous. All right, these are the 3 major areas. So this is the African American area here. This area is actually Irish. Northeastern is right here. This is where the highway was supposed to go down. This is the yellow line. These are the Jewish people in this area. Mannequin, they were very rich, but so they could not be really just taken out like they were in other parts. Plus, this area was so historic. I think that's another thing why they didn't get these places taken out. But nonetheless, they were moved out by force, right? They were playing with the cost of their houses. They were saying it was crime. They were setting up crime in these communities, right? Trying to move them out, and eventually they all moved out. All right. We'll go into let's see some. So this is, like I said, the relationship between land and law. And in order to practice and develop culture, we need to have safe, encouraging physical spaces to do so. When we practice and develop culture in these spaces, we become attached to the land we live on. Law that interfere with land use or residency also interfere with cultural practices and development. All right? And so those are the 3 things. Like when you have laws that now stop you from feeling safe or feeling the ability. Now, some of that safety sometimes is your job. It's so expensive, you have to work all the time, so you can't even think about doing anything else. Right? So that's part of it. All right. So next slide, what is a cultural hub? A cultural hub is an area where an ethnic group has established a center of cultural and economic activity, a center of cultural pride and development. Examples of cultural hubs similar to the South and African American culture are in Chinatown in the North and Little Italy. Cultural hubs in African American community. African American churches were community centers that cater to the many cultural needs like music development and of course other things, cooking, it goes on, public speaking, right? Dressing right, just being a good person, right? Because you're in church, right? Post-urban renewal without safe encouraging spaces like choir spaces in churches to practice and develop music. All right. After a century of music development, African Americans who are the best in music now can also influence, but at least not on the level that was used to, right? Okay. So these are some pictures of the Jewish community that was in. I didn't recognize any of these. Right? It's one of the specialties in Grove Hall. So, all right. This is the West End where we were last week Thursday. So you can see this is where this is there's like little nice houses. Buildings, for just like they have in the North End. You can see it there, and you can see it gone. All right. The pictures provided by West End Museum in regard to redlining, some of the pictures that they had. All right, and then down the street we have Dudley Street Baptist Church that was also taken out. And this is what I'm talking about when I say some of the spaces, right? Because this was the center of the community. It was where people truly, centered to be, a big part of the community, be proud, right? These are, like I said, in this church, there were cooking spaces. There were, as an engineer, I'm interested in the spaces. So there are cooking spaces, there are singing spaces, there's, like I said, speaking spaces, there's space, somebody has to know all that business. Everybody that comes to church, right, they looking good. All these, why are they looking good? Because they have a tailor and all these things are the businesses of the time. And when you destroy the church, then you destroy all the opportunity for these other spaces that we have. We couldn't go to Berkeley or one of the better music schools. This is our music school. So without these spaces, it was all gone. So you can see here, that's the old, this is Dudley Street. Now it turns up, this is, I think, Madison. And it goes up, but it changed a bit. All right. This is another aerial shot. This is where the highway was supposed to be, and it was cleared for the highway, but the highway never happened. So imagine it's supposed to be a highway all the way through here. That's crazy. This is an old picture of the train. So look at the orange line. It used to go around the Little Italy over here, but it doesn't anymore. And this was an electric train. Back then we had electric trains, not as we changed after a while. This is just a more aerial showing. This is where the highway would have been. This is like where Northeastern is now. Right, this is like the highway, and you come in like this. That was taken out. All right, this is the effect of climate change. All right, this is a picture of 2070 and what they think is going to look like in 2070. And you can see the water is encroaching. And one of the things I like about this is that even if the water is encroaching, you can see here that the old Boston of 1775 is coming out. That's kind of funny. All right, so I want to wish everybody a Black History Month, and this is where we're supposed to join the Slido, but I don't think I'm doing the Slido because nobody's here to do the Slido. No, I'm not gonna do it because it's just, we can look at the questions just to kind of help us out a little bit, I guess, but I will not. All right, so this is an example of the work that we do here at the African American Academy, right? And what this is about is like we actually do not use racial constructs. We use cultural constructs because cultural constructs are the real constructs. And why do I say that? I say that because if you're in Europe, everybody's white, so race doesn't matter. If you're in Africa, a lot of people are Black. Race doesn't matter. You can't use race as an identifier, otherwise you'll identify everybody. Anywhere else Black people at, everybody will raise their hand, right? You're in China, everybody's Chinese, right? So this racial thing is an American ideology. And we fight it at every turn. So we don't want to know if you're white. We want to know if you're European American. That can mean anything, right? We want to know if you're Hispanic or Latin or you're from Africa or you're from, because even there white Africans are like people in the north that look like Arab, right? They look like Arab, they're Africans. So it's about culture. Where's your culture from? All right. So that's some of the questions. So this is very important. I'm playing this video over and over and over again. And of course, it's because right now, Black history is under attack. So as far as I'm concerned, Black culture is under attack. And I advocate for the cultural rights of Indigenous African Americans because I believe that we have an acute cultural loss issue, which is specific to us, and no other group of people in the world have it. We're the only people in the world that do not have a library of names for us to name our children with. We have to create names. We have to create culture and Kwanzaa, and we have to, like everything is, we do not have a recipe. So we do not have carnivals, we do not have a lot of restaurants. And even if we did have restaurants, the restaurants were destroyed in the 50s with the Renewal. So our culture is under attack, and right now they're trying to ban Black history. That's exactly what we do here, right? We as African Americans, we create curriculum based on this history that is not out there, and we want to teach other communities as well. So This great guy, Ben Crump, and some young people are filing a suit to sue the state of Florida for their rights. Let's listen to this.
Governor DeSantis, are you really trying to lead us into an era akin to communism that provides censorship of free thoughts? Or are we going to make sure that Governor DeSantis understands that we will stand on the American principles of the free exchange of ideas, whether those are ideals and culture of European history, whether those are ideals and culture of German history, whether those are ideals and culture of Japanese history, whether those are ideals and culture of Brazilian, Canadian, everybody who is here in America. You have a right to have your culture, your history respected and taught to the children of America.
Everyone, I want to make sure that I'm being heard on the restream. So, just to be very clear, all right, the cultural rights is the next level of civil rights. So we think of civil rights, and civil rights is good. I don't want to make it seem like civil rights isn't good. Civil rights is great, in fact. But civil rights are not culturally directed. They're technical. What do I mean by that? I mean, like when you go to go get a civil marriage at the courthouse, you sign a piece of document. You are married, but you are not, there's no celebration, there's no family, there's no cake, right? The way we go to the court and sign that document, that's what we did with America in the 60s. We signed a document saying we are technically your friends. You have to technically follow the law and treat us like human beings and not use the law against us, and right? That's all civil rights. What we need now is cultural rights. The recognizing that we're not just individuals, that we are a culture of people. And because America has had such a heavy hand in our development and our culture and everything we had to do for so many centuries, right? That cultural integrity has been lost. And we are owed, we need it, and it is ours. That is our history, and that is our culture. And we have a right to develop it, and America has a responsibility to ensure that our culture is not only just practiced, but they're making sure it is being practiced. They are supporting it in every single way. From even like, I think the work we do with our DNA test is part of it, right? Because there are people that really do want to know where they come from in Africa. And that is something that they have a right to know. So what we do at the African American Academy, especially with the project management, is we definitely develop systems that are devised to ensure that the culture is supported, all right? And we've done the Uber Eats voucher that helps young people in Wellesley order food from Mattapan, right? So that they can continue to enjoy their culture, even though they go to white schools and are away from their culture, all right? So, do you believe that indigenous African American culture is under attack? Yes, I do. And that's why it's important that we do not stop this work, that we continue this work, that in the summer we get more students from the Boston Public School System to join us to form teams and create more curriculum of Black history. All right. So normally, like I said, this is how we collect our data points. So we normally have a quiz, and the quiz now has prizes. All you have to do is answer the questions quickly on your phone, and bada bing, bada boom, all is well. All right. Like I said, we're not going to do much of the quiz, but we will go over some of the questions just to see what's going on. So when was redlining made illegal? It was made illegal in 1968. What is the cultural hub, right? a place where people is option D, right? Place where people of the same ethnicity live together in a society, and it goes on and on. Cultural rights. I'm gonna skip these questions a little bit because, like I said, we're just going through and show people kind of the work that we do here, and get young people involved in learning about redlining, engineering, arts, math, project management, culture, diversity, equity, and inclusion. All right. So, yeah, we had a few questions here. All right. Let's see here. Wow, we have a lot of questions. All right. He only had some of these. Do you know where this place is at? You know where it is at?
Nubian Square.
All right. You got that right. Let's see. You know where this is at? Is harder.
Jamaica Plain.
Nope. Right across the street from where I just go like this and then like this. But it's that bank with the one United Bank, Citizens Bank, right? It's right there on the top there. Right. Oh wait, this one, where this one is at? Wait, hold on. Nope.
Dorchester.
No.
Madison.
No.
Chinatown.
Right. How you gonna do it? It's in Chinatown. This one you'll never get. Nobody gets this one because it's difficult.
Those corners.
Nope.
Grove Hall.
Grove Hall. Yes. So, there you go. So that is all the sliders. Those are all the questions that we had. So we are going to thank everybody for spending a little time with us so we can go through that little presentation. To close out, I would like to just, well, like I said, thank Northeastern, thank Black Male Advancement Office, thank the office, the city mayor, the mayor's office for equity and inclusion. Thank the Mass Cultural Council. So we have a lot of people to thank. Thank all our students. Thank the supporters. We have new partners that we're now going. This adventure into Boston Redlining 85 to mark the 85th anniversary has been for us a great success because we have a lot of equipment that we're trying out. We're going to new places, getting new challenges. So we are working out the kinks. We've done I don't even know how many events. I think we've done about 8 or 9, 10 events, something like that. And the events have all been, the attendance is something we're definitely trying, but that's what this is about. I used to work in the Boston public school system. And when I decided to get this, when I wanted to do this, I had to, now I'm on my own, join this organization. And I realized that to move forward, and get this ground and get these people in their feet, one, we have to be ready. And that's what this is about. So like I said, we've done this now. By the end of this period, we would have completed our first project. Once we're going to have our Northeastern students look at the data, put it in paper, and then I'm going to have my report on what this event was about, how, what we can do better, how we can get it better. But the most important thing is the kids. We're going to have young people operating this equipment, streaming, giving presentations, just like what you're seeing there. And, that is just, that's how it's gonna, that's kind of how it's gonna be. We're very excited about this whole thing. We're excited about the, streaming and using our quizzes. And we're excited that people are actually connecting. This is a real movement. And We have to get the engines ready, which is what we're doing as engineers. But once we get this ready, you can rest assured that we'll be in a city, in a town, in a place near you, helping that community be restorative, project manage it, so that they can develop curriculum around their history in their community, so they can teach it in their schools. So, I guess last but not least, we'll pick up Bill Russell and the Celtics. Let's go for back in the team. So yeah, Marlon signing up, Northeastern University, Boston Redlining 85. I'd like to drop the mic, but because the mic costs money. Is somebody on there helping? No, I don't think. All right, let's end the stream and let's go.